Hey guys, my name is Neil and welcome to Neil Workshop Zone. So in this episode we're going to be talking about how does AI work. So in a previous episode I talked about what is AI, its advantages, disadvantages, and in this episode I'll be talking about how artificial intelligence actually works. So if you want to learn about what AI is and all of that, you can click the link in the description so you can watch the first part. And it's also a pretty fun video with a lot of knowledge as well as a lot of fun. So without further ado, let's answer a simple question on how does AI work. Now this will be a short video and I'll be only talking about the basic, but we'll go more into it. But I think I mentioned this in my previous video, but artificial intelligence works on the principle of machine learning. And we'll talk about machine learning in a second, but what AI does to develop its intelligence or to make it better, what it basically does is that it basically tries to find patterns in the data and then tries to analyze it and then foolproof checks itself so that it actually makes sense. So they do this by merging really long and complex algorithms so that artificial intelligence could actually recorrect itself. So for example, in artificial intelligence, there is actually obviously machine learning, but there's also something else known as deep learning, which I'll talk about. But machine learning, like I've talked before, is basically the concept of artificial intelligence, the algorithm taking data and then trying to process it and then trying to find existing patterns and then checking its performance again to make sure if it's correct or not and then improving itself on it. So for example, like I've said in my previous video, or I haven't, if it asks for a picture of a cat, for example, an black cat basically, it will basically show you the pictures of black cat. And the way it does this is by scanning, millions and billions of images of black cats and it tries to find its specific underlying features of those things so that it can actually, project some photos for you. And this actually led to a little bit of a problem. I wouldn't say problem, it's more of a fun mistake. But basically, when some people ask for a specific type of fish photos, they got photos of fingers with green backgrounds. And the reason for that is because most photos of that fish was actually people holding them in a forest aquatic background. So the AI thought that the images with the green background and the fingers on them were actually the fishes because they resembled a lot to the actual fish. And even though there has been a silly mistake here and there, for the most part, artificial intelligence is getting pretty good at this. And you can actually test it out by yourself by checking out Google Lens, which if you didn't know, is a feature that you probably have on a smartphone if it's an Android. And I think it's for iPhone as well, but I'm not entirely sure. I think it's Siri. But for Google Assistant, if you activate Google Lens and you scan an image or a picture or anything else, it will basically scan the image and figure out the contents that it has. So for example, if you take the photo of a person and you scan it, it will display you the similarly looking clothes that the person wears or background, etc. So that is how artificial intelligence works in terms of trying to identify all of these things. But there is a subset of machine learning that we call deep learning, and there is also this subset of artificial intelligence, or I meant machine learning, also known as deep learning, where again, just like machine learning, it gives the ability for artificial intelligence to mimic a human's thinking process. So it tries to make sure that the artificial intelligence thinks in the same way that a human does, such as in logical reasoning, in trying to find some logical way towards a simple problem, and self-correction. So all three of these things are something that's really important in an AI, and that's what actually makes it unique. So obviously I have autocorrection, which is basically the computer, the algorithm's equivalent of it saying that I got a mistake, so I'll try to rectify it. So what it does, like I said previously, is that it basically checks the errors that it has got or the amount of pass percentage that the pictures that it has provided. It tries to understand what the fault that showed and why it didn't get 100% accuracy success rate and tries to do it again and again. And in terms of logical reasoning, it's actually a lot more advanced than you think. Basically, in 1996, I'm pretty sure, the world's at the time most powerful computer actually defeated the long-time chess championship winner in a chess battle. So I guess you can understand how advanced AI has gotten if it has really been approximately or nearly 20 years since that incident happened. So obviously in all of these things artificial intelligence has a higher hand in all of this. And I think that what makes it really special, because instead of humans it actually can do it better, faster, quicker, and it's actually much more easy to access. So that is how machine learning works. It's a little bit simple, and there are also layers to this deep learning. You have the input layer, then you have the hidden layer, then you have the output layer. Input layer is basically where it takes in the images and tries to find it. So for example, imagine I gave the AI a picture of a sunset and I told it to differentiate depending on the sky, the lands, the sunset, for example, something like that. What it does is that it takes in the image in the input layer and it tries to match everything that it is related to, and in the hidden layer, that is where the real complicated math stuff happens. And from there it takes it back to the output layer where it again rechecks itself if the image is that it will provide the correct or not, and finally shows it to the viewers. And that is kind of how Google Lens or most artificial intelligence works, and not only in terms of pictures or videos, but also in terms of audio stabilization, or like audio clarity, audio crisp, removing of background noise. All of that tools that you can do with AI is becoming a lot more advanced. And like I said, it's really great for us, but it's also a little bit harmful for us if we use it in the wrong way. So yeah, that is how basically artificial intelligence works. Basically, in the next episodes we can tackle more important questions or more unique questions. But for now, yeah, that's about it. So thank you for watching. That's all folks, and see you in the next one. Bye bye.